Hello everyone, and welcome to my thoughts on Pokemon Sword and Shield. I've had some thoughts about these games since the initial teaser first came out. Some good, some bad, some very bad. I briefly touched on some of these in our recent live stream. I feel like it's such a cash grab. I feel like everything they're doing anymore is a cash grab. But I wanted to just get all of my thoughts on these games into one coherent video. I could just do this off the cuff in a ranting way, but I feel like when I do that, I always end up missing something I wanted to talk about. So for this video, I've organized my thoughts into categories. Let's get into it. As per usual with Nintendo, we have a pretty mixed bag with the new Pokemon. Some are good, some are not so good, but we really only know of a few of the new ones so far, or at least I hope that this is only a few of them. So let's just talk about a few of them here. Wooloo. Adorable, but the Mareep line will always be the alpha adorable sheep line. Corviknight. Super cool, like a more edgy Honchkrow. Yamper. Thought this one was gonna be the attempt at the Pikachu clone, but I guess not. Either way, it's pretty meh. Impidimp. I think this one was a scrapped fire starter Pokemon, and I can see why it was scrapped. Ew. Morpeko, generic Pikachu clone, and Mimikyu did it a lot better. Obstagoon, absolutely perfect, and my favorite Pokemon revealed so far. Not going to go over them all right here, but most of the other ones looked kind of boring, so the gist of this whole section is basically saying that Nintendo looks like it's running out of ideas for their new Pokemon, you know, the generic Gen 1er speech, and I feel like they could spend a lot more time coming up with new ideas rather than just coming back, remaking a lot of the older ones. I'm going to get into the Legendaries later on, and I'm going to get into the starters. Absolutely not the worst batch of starters we've had. I think the designs, however, are a little lacking overall. Scorbunny is easily the one with the most personality design-wise, but I'm going to talk about them all here. Sopple, love the idea, but I really think the chameleon design would have worked better as a grass type. As far as personality, it's sad, or that's just maybe what people have decided. Definitely seen a lot of fan art where Sopple is like the timid, sad one. Grookey, I guess you can never have too many monkey Pokemon. We already had a monkey starter, but I'm willing to see this one out. Personality-wise, it's crazy. I guess I'm basing a lot of this off of fan art that I've seen. Isn't it weird that so many different artists and people can just agree that that's how they are, and that's just what they are now? Grookey is probably my least favorite of these starters, design-wise, and I just don't really think it's that cute. Sorry. Scorbunny. Fire is, as people know, always, or at least mostly always my favorite when it comes to the starters, and it's definitely true again with this batch. Design-wise, again, it's a little bland, but stylistically the best looking of the lot, I think. I think it has a clear design theme, soccer or football for anybody outside of the US. I'm very worried that it's going to be another fire fighting type. That, or it's going to be another fire normal type, but has so many fighting type moves that it might as well just be a fighting type. So yeah, not my favorite batch of starters, but far from the worst. These are not my favorite Legendaries aesthetically. I was going to say this was the first time in a while that we've had two Legendaries based on the same species, but Zamazenta. I do not like the way this one looks at all. I really don't get it, and I feel like it would have worked a lot better if it was a lion, because, you know, lions have manes. But I guess they couldn't do another lion since they just did that last game. And Zamazenta is not even the first shield-type Pokemon we've had. Overall, I rate Zamazenta 3 out of 10. I do like the colors. Zakian, I think it looks cool, but like only from a distance. Like when we first saw it in the trailer, it was like, wow, that's really dope. It's really cool. But then you get a look at it and it's just like, it's just a wolf with a sword. It's about as cool as if my dog grabbed the knife that I dropped. Actually, is the implication supposed to be that the sword is a part of its body? Because, like, if its arms were made out of swords, that would have been really cool. Or actually, its tail. Nintendo has not been afraid to be a little bit more liberal with the fantasy designs in the past, so I'm not sure why Zakian is basically just a wolf with a sword. Both names start with Z, which is super cool, so I rate this one 5 out of 10. Team Yell. I have a very strong suspicion that Team Yell is not going to be the actual enemy of the game. It kind of worked in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon with the Aether Foundation fake out, but if that is indeed the plan that they are doing again in this game, then it's just not going to be as good as it was last time. Telling the same joke over and over again is how you ruin it. Even just looking at them for what they are being presented as, I don't see how they could be a very good villainous team. Like, they just really like Marine, so they don't want me to beat her. Okay, I guess. If they are the real villains, then I guess it could be interesting to see where they go with that. We don't know anything about the story. For a current gen console, these graphics do not look very good to me. I don't know if they were going for a nostalgic old school kind of look, and if they were, then honestly they did a pretty good job. I might be crazy here, but when I look at it, I get a very Spyro-esque feeling. It certainly doesn't look like anything from Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and I think those games looked a lot cleaner. If they had just taken the Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon graphics and just updated them instead of going for a whole new artistic angle, it would have looked a lot cleaner. If anyone remembers a video this channel did a while back about Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu, I mentioned that I thought the features like overworld Pokemon and motion control captures were going to be staples that were here to stay, and clearly I was more than wrong. Come to think of it, I don't think a single feature from those games is actually coming over into these games. The one removal that I really don't like is that your partner Pokemon, once again, does not follow you. I mean, that is like the #1 feature that everybody has been asking for in every game since Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and now everybody gets to complain about it once again for another 10 years until they bring it back. The other removed features, such as motion controls, I can live without because I don't really like motion controls, and I never really used them except for when I got the Pokeball Plus and I used that for a little while. Overworld Pokemon I did enjoy. I liked that if you weren't in the mood to battle, you could just kind of bob and weave to avoid them. But now it's back to endless Zubats and caves, or whatever they replaced them with in this game. I absolutely hate this, and I can't help but feel like this is a gut punch being the first main series game on a new age console, and it doesn't feature all of the Pokemon. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon had them all, and it was on a console that came out in 2011. They now have a way extra processing power, and what are they doing with it? I know we haven't really seen the games to their fullest yet, but I really think that fitting all of the Pokemon should have absolutely been a top priority. I know not everyone likes every Pokemon, but there are people, like me, who like to have what's called a living dex. That's when you have one of every single Pokemon in numerical order in the PC at one time. But now we can't even do that. In previous games, when you did catch all of them, you got a shiny charm, which increases your odds of getting a shiny Pokemon. Do we get something like that again in this game? Is there an incentive to catch them all? Or is there going to be more of a only catch the ones you like kind of thing? I have no problem with the new features they add to the new games. Nothing wrong with a little experimentation. I will say that I do really like the idea of adding in region-exclusive evolutions and variants to previous generation Pokemon. I think it would have been cool if they added that in a long time ago, and kudos to whoever came up with that idea. While I don't mind them adding in the Gigantamax, I'm not sure I'm going to like it more than I liked, say, Mega Evolutions. Z moves, however, I can live without. They were cool, but I can definitely see those as being a very Alola thing. Not having them in this game doesn't make me want to see them or make me miss them. We only had them for one game. It's a little more jarring for Mega Evolutions to be gone because we got those for 3 games? No, 4. Since they first revealed that not every Pokemon would be in the new games, I have said that I do not want to get them. I have maintained that stance through every new bit we have gotten since then, and I firmly believe that we vote with our dollars. If Nintendo were to lose a bunch of money on these games, then they would have to listen to us. But I also know that I am giving myself way too much credit. Nintendo doesn't really care about us older fans, and we've known that for a while. They want the younger kids, the ones who aren't used to the way the games have been, the ones who don't know that every Pokemon is always in every new game. So since I know that ultimately it won't matter if I get the game or not, will I get it? I'd like to say no, but I also know how much I enjoy the games. And maybe I'm overreacting and these games will be good. It's definitely the future of the series whether we like it or not. So am I gonna get it? I don't know. I guess I'll have to see when it comes out. Thank you all for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more content like this, and leave us a comment on what you think of these new games. Thank you.